Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Insurance with the Janet Smart Agency. I am your host today, Janet Smart with Farmers Insurance. Today I have a very special guest with me, Mrs. Renee Long, Senior Vice President at Citizens Bank in Batesville. Hello, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So Renee, how long have you been with Citizens Bank?
I have been with this bank 45 years.
Wow, that is...
Yes, ma'am.
That is a commitment. That's like a marriage.
It absolutely is.
You're married to Citizens Bank.
I have been.
So when you started, how did you start out?
Well, back 50-something years ago, I started out in bookkeeping, what we call bookkeeping in those days.
Okay.
And I started out filing checks and answering the phone and taking care of customers with their needs. I quickly moved up into receptionist area. From there, I went to a teller. So I was a teller for several years, and then I just kind of moved up in the ranks and moved closer to the lending area where I just looked for different things to do and learn. And in 2004, I started lending to my customers. Yes.
Yes. Wonderful. And so you would say your specialty area is lending.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And I do appreciate that because I use you to help me with my business insurance and my insurance business and my financial needs there. So,
yes.
Well, I've asked you to meet with me today so that we can speak about teens and young adults building credit. I do have many parents that are trying to do the right thing with their kids and to help them get on the right foot for their adult lives. And one of those things is getting and establishing credit. And so what would you say is the best age to establish credit?
Okay. Janet, I have had the opportunity in the last few years to talk with some of the high school students from Batesville High. And surprisingly enough, a goodly number of students was not aware of what we call a credit score.
Mm.
And so we went into detail. This is the prime age. Girls and boys that are in high school, even junior high, and headed to college, they are bombarded with credit card companies sending them applications, apply for this, apply for that, and then a lot of times they will go into department stores. Department stores will say, if you apply for a credit, you can get 10, 15% off.
Yes,
well,
happened.
And that does happen. What I found in talking to the seniors was those that had jobs and were earning their own money was more conscious of the fact that they were aware of a credit score. And so I began to talk to them about the importance of maintaining a good, solid credit score. And most of the time, younger people do not realize that your credit score affects many areas in your life.
Difficult times remind me to take stock of what's most important. That's why I'm here for you and your family to discuss your insurance options and help you select coverage. With over 14 years of experience as a Farmers agent, I take pride in being able to help you protect the things that matter most. Call me, Janet Smart, at 870-793-5757 to learn more.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
It does. And exactly, that's why I'm here, because insurance is one of those really big areas. And just running a quote for a customer today, wanting to do that, it was more than a $500 a year difference because an 18-year-old hadn't established credit yet versus being with their parents. And so how do you recommend starting?
We here at the bank, we have what we call a means where young kids can establish credit most of the time it will take a parent to help them.
Okay.
We have not really a program per se, but if a parent will co-sign after a child is 18 to borrow, say, $500, we would put that $500 into a certificate of deposit, then turn around and use that same deposit as collateral on the loan. This allows a young person to make payments in a year's time.
And can they do an automatic withdrawal to pay that loan?
They absolutely can, and that's the best way to keep it on time, because one way or the other, they're going to establish good credit. If they pay the payments on time, it will help them to establish good credit.
So what about credit cards? I don't believe they set up automatic payments except for minimum payments. Do you just recommend that they pay off that balance?
That's what I would love to see our young people understand is anything that you have left over on a credit card, if you get a bill and it's $150 and you pay $100 on it, that other $50 will continue to accrue interest on it. So if you get in the habit of using a credit card, almost like a checking account, if you charge, say, $100 on it, at the end of the month, you write a check for $100. You don't pay any interest on that.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't cycle back around to the next month, there's no interest charged. So I would recommend, and most of the time, 18-year-olds can get a small credit card, but pay that off each month. You will pay no interest. You will learn to establish good buying habits, good credit habits, and therefore you should establish a good credit score.
Awesome. Well, any other tidbits that you would love to share with our young adults even? Because I know eventually they want to purchase a home. And so are there any other little tidbits that you can think of that I didn't ask?
Well, most of the time, the first thing that a young person would look at buying is an automobile. So if they start out with a small credit and pay that credit off each month, that will help to prepare them for these bigger purchases that they will need eventually.
Yes.
So I preach, take care of your credit score. It is who you are.
Ah, that's wonderful. Kind of like a fingerprint.
Yes.
Very good. Well, Renee, how can people get in touch with you for their lending needs, commercial or personal?
Yes, they can reach me here at the bank. My direct line is 870-698-9678. If I'm not the person that needs to do that loan for you, I will get you to someone that can help you.
Well, thank you. And the Citizens Bank is a beautiful building, and I love being able to take this podcast on the road today. Thank you. So thank you for joining us today and not only making people smarter about insurance, but about ways to help parents and our young adults. And if you have any insurance needs, contact us at the Janet Smart Agency, 870-793-5757. Janet Smart Agency, the smart choice for insurance. Thank you.